Radha Krishna. Welcome back to my channel. Today's topic is major landforms of the earth. In the previous video, we've learned about the major landforms of the earth, about mountains. In today's video, we're going to learn about valleys, plateaus, plains and islands. So, let's get started. First, valleys. A valley is a low area of land between hills or mountains, typically with a river or stream flowing through it. Valleys are one of the most common landforms on the earth. The river or stream flowing through the valley, they drain into the oceans and seas. At the bottom of many valleys, there is fertile soil that makes it an excellent farmland. There are three types of valleys: the V-shaped valleys, the U-shaped valleys and the flat-flowed valleys. So, now we are going to learn about rift valleys. They are the flat-flowed valleys. So, rift valleys are formed. We are going to learn about the formation of the rift valleys. The rift valleys are formed because of the interaction of the Earth's tectonic plates. The rift valleys are formed when the Earth's crust is spreading or splitting apart. Now, let's move into characteristics of the rift valleys. Rift valleys have steep slopes and a flat floor. The rift valleys some of them are also found underwater. They are found alongside the ridges of the ocean floor. The ridges are formed as the Earth's tectonic plates are moving away from one another. And next, the distribution of the rift valleys is relatively sparse and irregular. Rift valleys, a few of them also have volcanic cones or deep lakes on their surface. Examples of rift valleys are in the Nile, Narmada and Rhine. So, the earth is formed by many kinds of geological processes, and all these processes take place both above and underneath the earth's surface. All of these processes can be classified into two groups: the endogenous forces and the exogenous forces. The endogenous forces are the forces that happen deep beneath the Earth's surface. They are responsible for relief features such as block mountains, rift valleys, or plateaus. These endogenous forces are also responsible for creating natural phenomena like volcanic eruptions or earthquakes. Next, exogenous forces. Exogenous forces take place above the Earth's surface. These exogenous forces form landforms such as, for instance, take valleys or glacial landforms or alluvial and erosional plains. Exogenous forces are responsible for forming these kinds of landforms. They take place above the Earth's surface. So these are the two types of forces from which the various kinds of landforms are formed. So let's move on to plateaus. A plateau is a flat-topped land that rises above the surrounding area. A plateau has a flat top that rises much above the surrounding area. Plateaus are formed due to various kinds of reasons, including the upwelling of volcanic magma, extrusion of lava, and erosion by the water, rivers and glaciers. When magma rises up from the mantle, it causes the ground to swell upwards, and this uplifted large rock is termed as the plateau. This is how the plateau is formed. But plateaus are also formed due to various other processes. For instance, plateaus are also formed when lava comes up and spreads around the earth through the cracks in the earth's crust or weak places in the earth's crust. They are also formed in the mountain areas because of the erosion by the rivers and glaciers. So, these kinds of plateaus, all the plateaus can be classified into three groups according to their elevation and according to their location and origin. These are the Intermountain Plateaus, Continental Plateaus and Lava Plateaus. First, Intermountain Plateaus. Intermountain plateaus are the highest, largest and most complex plateaus in the world. The intermountain plateaus are surrounded by mountains. They are formed due to various reasons, including the extrusion of lava and erosion by the glaciers, because intermountain plateaus are surrounded by mountains. So they are also formed due to various other processes. Intermountain plateaus are the most highest plateaus, and the highest intermountain plateau is the Plateau of Tibet in Asia. Other examples are the Tarim Basin Plateau also in Asia, the Colombian Plateau in USA, and the Mexican Plateau also in USA. And so let's move on to continental plateaus. Continental plateaus. These plateaus they occupy large spaces, and continental plateaus occupy large amounts of space, and they rise abruptly from the surrounding area. So continental plateaus are formed due to continental plateaus are formed due to the movement of the rocks in the lower lithosphere or upper mantle. They are formed due to the upward movement of the rocks there. So examples of continental plateaus are the South African Plateau and the West Australian Plateau, and other examples are the Greenland, for instance, and Antarctica, and a part of Chota Nagpur plateaus are plateaus of this type. Next, lava plateaus. Lava plateaus are formed due to volcanic eruptions. They are formed when the lava erupts and it fills up all the valleys, and also because of other depressions. Lava plateaus occupy large spaces like the other plateaus also. So examples of lava plateaus are the Malwa Plateau in India and the Colombian Plateau in USA. So these were the three types of plateaus. Plateaus are they bound to differ. They are of different sizes. Between two different kinds of plateaus, the size is different. The size can vary from a few meters to several thousand meters. And plateaus, just like mountains, can be young or old. Other plateaus in the world are, some of the examples of them are, for instance, the Deccan Plateau in India, the Tanzania, Uganda, and the other plateaus as well. For instance, the East African Plateau. So, the characteristics of the plateaus are: number one, plateaus have steep sides, and these steep sides join the plains. And number two, plateaus are some of them are also surrounded by mountains. Plateaus have uneven tops, and they appear to be as tablelands. They also appear to be like mountains but without peaks. And plateaus are also they also join the plains. The steep slopes of the plateaus, they join the plains. So next, the importance of the plateaus. Plateaus are rich in mineral deposits and ores. For example, the East African Plateau is famous for its iron and coal. The East African Plateau is famous for its gold and diamond mining, while the other Chota Nagpur Plateau in our India is famous for the iron, coal and manganese. So many waterfalls are also in the mountain areas. For example, there are the Jog waterfalls in Karnataka, and let's see what else. Of course, the Hundi waterfalls in the Chota Nagpur Plateau. So, the grasslands in the plateaus are used for rearing livestock. Plateaus that are made from lava deposits are rich in black soil. They are rich in black soil, and this is very fertile. This promotes agriculture. And plateaus are the colder regions than plains. They are colder than the plains. Speaking of plains, let's move on to plains. So, The plains are low-lying large stretches of flat land, and these plains are not generally more than 200 meters. They have gentle slopes and small local relief. The height of plains generally is not different at places, but some may be slightly rolling and others may be extremely leveled. The plains are also known as the lowlands. The height of plains is not more than 200 meters actually above the average sea level. And according to how the plains are formed, we can group them into three categories: the structural plains, erosional plains, and the depositional plains. So first, structural plains. Structural plains are formed. The structural plains are formed because of horizontal bedded rocks. Structural plains occupy large spaces. They are large spaces of flat land, and they are formed due to horizontal bedded rocks, as I told you. And these structural plains, examples of them are the northern plains of the Great Plains of America and the central lowlands of Australia. These structural plains are undisturbed by the coastal movements. Next, erosional plains. Erosional plains are formed due to various kinds of erosional activities. That work to bring an elevated land near the sea level, such as glaciers, water, ice, snow, and running water or rivers. Examples of erosional plains are the plains of the USA and the northwest plains of Europe. And so let's move on to depositional plains. The plains that are formed due to the sediments that are deposited in them by the agents of erosion like rivers, glaciers, etc., are known as depositional plains. These depositional plains are very fertile because of the kind of sediment or material that has been deposited in them. They are very fertile, and this also promotes agriculture. And these plains are known as depositional plains. Examples of them are the northern plains of India. You didn't think I'm going to tell about plains and not mention our India, right? So the northern plains of India and the northern plains of China. So with this we have learned about the three types of plains. So let's learn about the importance and characteristics of the plains. The plains are very fertile, and they are extremely suitable as farmlands. They're extremely suitable for growing crops like fruits and vegetables. Plains provide us with lots of land for common things like farming, agriculture, to things like building houses and building roads and making railway lines. They give us with lots of land for all that. And plains are also densely populated. In fact, the most of the famous cities that we know today are all located in plains. This is why the plains are important to us. So next, let's move on to, can you guess? Let's move on to islands. Okay, that doesn't need such a dramatic introduction, but just get through it. Okay, right. So islands. Islands are a small piece of land that is surrounded by water on all sides. A group of islands are known as the archipelago. I know that's a bit hard to pronounce, but I have no idea how I got that, but leave it. Okay, a group of islands are known as the archipelago. So India also has various kinds of islands, and the largest island in the world is Greenland. So India also has many islands, and these are grouped into two kinds of these islands are grouped into two archipelagos or two groups of archipelagos. So they are the Lakshadweep group of islands located on the west coast in the Arabian Sea, and the Lakshadweep group of islands that are located in the Bay of Bengal in the east coast. And after India, not after India, but Indonesia has the largest number of islands in the world. It has about approximately 13,500 islands. And not just all this, islands are also very important. So let's learn about their characteristics and importance. Islands provide us with timber like aboni and teak. Islands also provide a site for fishing and other port activities. 7 out of 10 coral reef hotspots are found in the islands. And not only this, islands, because of their natural extraordinary beauty, attract tourism from all over the world, far and wide. All over the world, far and wide. And islands are also home to a large number of people, more than 600 million people. They are home to more than 600 million people. So, they are home to more than 600 million people. Right. With that, we have learnt all about islands. And since we have learnt about valleys, plateaus and plains and islands, not to mention that, since we have learned about all 4 of them, that brings us to the end of today's video. So that's it for today. Until next time, I am Radhya. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.